Hello, Koopos! It's Armastis, and you're watching Armastis Live, and we're back from our little break. I know it was Independence Day season, blah, blah, blah. I was going to do a stream on Sunday, but it was Independence Day. I was tired, and I just wanted the break, and I just wanted to play some video games, and so I did that. Anyway, it's kind of a good thing I waited because we've got some amazing spoilers that have come out from Square Enix. More and more cards are showing for Opus 14. Now, I'm super duper excited about this set. I hope you are. I think I'm more excited about this set than I was Opus 13, and I loved Opus 13. I think it's a fantastic set. There's some amazing things coming out here. Some crazy overpowered cards. I know some people don't like the overpoweredness right now, but you know what? I love it. I like some of these cards that are broken. I know the power keeps huge. I think it's fun. I think it gets more people into the game right now, especially building up the audience. The audience is growing for Final Fantasy TCG, so I think it's now a great time to be in it. If you haven't already started, get out there and play the game. Collect, play, collect, play, collect. So before we get into the news, though, I got some stuff, of course, I want to cover. First thing first is I got to give a shout out to Zulus and the Light Games. Both those places, just amazing, been supportive, loving. So I have links to their stores in the video link description down below. Next thing, please like, subscribe, follow, etc., etc. Also, if you so choose to donate, thank you so much. Thank you again for all those who have donated. I appreciate you. I still can't get the darn little ticker thing to show the donators. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I looked at, I don't know. I've looked at tutorials, I've tinkered with stuff, and I just can't get the darn thing to work. I'll keep messing with it here and there, but it's super tedious. I don't know why it doesn't show. Anyway, look, love, respect. Thank you to all those who have donated for sure. I think maybe I'll just manually just do stuff like I've done in the past. Maybe I'll just create like little custom cards and show you. Maybe that's just what I'll have to do because I can't get the darn thing to work correct anyway. Next thing, I hope you're taking care of yourself. Again, showing love to yourself, showing love to others. I have links to BetterHelp.com video link down in the video link description. If you need someone to talk to, if you're going through anything, remember you're not alone. There's, you got a whole community of people out there through BetterHelp.com. It's of professionals that are willing to help you. Also, if you ever just want to share your story, whatever it might be, I'm here. My email, of course, is armastislife@gmail.com, not armastislive, but armastislife. And my email's in the video link description as well. You can email me about everything, about anything. If you want to donate product to the channel, go back to the community, let me know. Of course, whatever money you do give as well to the community, I do make sure it goes first back to the community as well. So thank you again for everything. What else is there? Oh yes, and then of course our giveaways. If you haven't joined our Discord channel, please join our Discord channel. Again, the links are in the video link description, because we do giveaways if you aren't aware. And I know a lot of people watch this, they love watching the news. So here it is. Please watch, please join our Discord, join the giveaway. And we're going to be doing today, or this next week, we're going to be doing Opus 11 right here, covering my big old nog in my face right here. So Opus 11. Yeah, so we're going to do Opus 11 again. Join our Discord. If you are in the US and you guess, so how it works is in the video link description. And you can go on the Discord channel, you can see how it works too. Basically, you're going to guess 2 full arts. If we get one or both, if we pull one of those full arts that you've guessed, if you're in the United States, I will ship you a random pack. Yes, that's a pack between 1 through 13. Yes, it is random. So it could be, you can get an Opus 1 pack, you can get an Opus 11 pack, you never know. And then I'll send it to you if you're in the United States. And of course that will be, of course, limited maybe to like top 3 or 4 folks, because we're getting more and more people in it and I can't go broke buying a bunch of packs. But if you if we get a whole bunch, then yes, it'll be limited to top 3 or 4. If not, then we'll make it work. But join anyway, because guess what, even if you're not in the US and you can't win the packs, your name each time you participate gets put in the bucket to win an Opus 14 pre-release kit. And you want to do that and that will be shipped everywhere in the world as long as your country lets you get stuff. You want to get into that because Opus 14 is limited quantity. It's hard to get. So make sure you get on that. And I will be sending one to some lucky winner out there. Okay, that is it. let's get back and let's get into the news. Okay, Kupo. So to start us off, Kupos and Kupettes. To start us off, first thing we're going to do, I want to talk about again is Zulus. Once again, they're a fantastic place. If you're ever in the Bothell, Seattle area, go check them, Washington area, go check them out. You'll find me there. I'm there on average about every other week. I will be there this week, of course, as well. Fantastic community, such an amazing group of people. Seriously, the kindness of the individuals there is great. Anyway, they are trying to organize, and I'll keep you posted, of course. I mentioned this before. They are trying to organize a beginners, novice entry kind of tournament to get more people into the game, and they will be providing the decks. Yes. And a few of us, including myself, our masters, will also be donating some cards to help build some of these decks to help new people come in and play a tournament. And it will be dedicated strictly to beginners, and for those who are more experienced, they can't participate, but it will be definitely like for fun kind of like builds, nothing super tournament like in your face heavy kind of stuff. But it should be good times. Not sure yet on the dates of that, but I want to get the word out, as I have told Zulus that I would do. So I'm getting the word out here to you all, the community. And as I get more information on that, I will let you all know. Anyway, if you're here in the Washington, specifically Seattle, Bothell area, and you get a chance, go check them out. The tournaments are Wednesdays at 7 p.m. So it's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Only $5 entry fees. Great bunch of group of people. If you go, I may be there. You could say hello. I'd love to meet you, of course. So yeah, so that's Zulus. You know, quick shout out to them all. Again, their store stuff is links and everything's down in the video link description as well. So Opus 14. Okay, so here is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Get on it. Okay, you got to pre-order this set. Okay, now do it if you haven't. First off, if you can find an Opus 14 kit right now and pre-order it somewhere, I would say even if it's like 50 USD, I would spend the money on it, because the quantities are limited in certain places. Square Enix, for whatever reason. Listen, Square, I love you all. You do some great stuff. Huge fan. Love your games. Love the TCG. Love you all. But you got to print more. I mean, you got to start printing more. I know we were coming through with the zombie virus, and that had some issues, but I do also know from other people that before the pandemic, you had problems with printing more stuff. I'm telling you now, please print more. The community's growing. People want in on this. You know, capitalize on it. I don't know. I'm not a business person, but I don't know. Just from what I see and what I hear, I think you should print more. Anyway, to the rest of you all, the Kupos and Kupettes out there, make sure you pre-order your stuff, because again, the Opus 14 pre-release kit's going to have that Tifa full art, which everybody's going to want, which of course is the background wallpaper to this news thing right now. And then each box will come with a full art Barrett, that beautiful full art Barrett you've seen right there, which we talked about in the last news stream. So each box will come with one, which is super fantastic. Get on it if you haven't. Don't miss out, please. And of course, join our Discord, participate in the giveaway for your chance to win an Opus 14 pre-release kit before it's too late, because this stuff, it's getting harder to get this set, specifically because of all the 7 remake stuff. People are crazy about it. You know, people love Final Fantasy VII. Nothing against Final Fantasy VII, but, you know, yeah. Anyway, moving on to our very first spoiler from Opus 14. We're going to start off first with the commons and move on to the rares and the heroes and then the legend stuff. So, for those of you who aren't familiar to some of this stuff just, I think, dropped today or yesterday or last night, whatnot. But here we are. Let's just go through it together. Let's read it. I read through some of them. Some of these things are pretty crazy, even some of these comments. But let's start off now with our very first comment, Ananta. I think that's how you say her name is, Ananta, I believe. A backup, multiple. You can play 3 of her on the backup zone. So it says, when Ananta enters the field, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Cool. Okay. Add 1 water card among them to your hand and put the rest of the cards into the break zone. Not bad. I'm gonna be honest, I love the idea of putting my cards that I peel off the top of my deck into the break zone rather than back into the deck. I think they're an easier to, much more accessible to get to if they are in the break zone with support of other cards. But so there's this. Okay, so Searcher, get one water, put it in your hand, put the other into the break zone. Pretty awesome. You can play 3 of these, not bad. Cost 4, not bad. Okay, so really you're only paying for 1 if you're discarding, you have 2 on the field, really. Or even if you discard 2 from the hand to pay for her, you're just only really losing 1 because you're getting 1 back. And possibly even an advantage if getting the other one into the break zone. So you may not even be losing anything as the game progresses. But yeah, so there you go. The second part of it is you put Ananta into the break zone. You reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 water card among them in your hand, put the rest of the cards in the break zone. So you get the effect again, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad. So she basically goes off with the effect 2 times. Pretty good card. I like it. These commons are just amazing. Sometimes these commons I'm like, how are you common, not like a rare or hero? Moving on to our next common card here is we have Sahagan. Sahagan or Sahagan? I think it's Sahagan. Sahagan 14. Again, backup multiples again. Standard unit. So I love that it's a standard unit too. Better standard units coming out, which is fantastic. They're not just like these vanilla blank cards. There's actually stuff to them. So when a water job primal enters your field, activate Sahagan 14. Now here's the thing is I couldn't find any water job primals in previous sets. I don't think it exists. So it looks like we're getting a new job primal. Interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't find anything. So activate Sahagan 14. Okay, cool. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 card among them on the top of your deck and put the other on the bottom of your deck. You can only use this ability if you control a water job primal. Not bad. You can do this each turn, kind of prepare you, especially if say it's your opponent's turn and this is active, your opponent does their thing, they're about ready to hit the end phase, and then you just want to, you know, prepare yourself, maybe activate this ability, look at your top 2 cards, you know, see what you really need, can maybe help you out a little bit more with advantage. I kind of like it. These kinds of like cards that prepare you for like future state of the game, I enjoy them very much. So there we go, Sahagan. Not a bad card. Yeah, it's a common. I think it should be a rare, but hey, that's okay. Toneberry, here we go. So we get a monster. Toneberry here, it's not a bad monster. Let's read what it is. So Toneberry is at the end of each of your turns, you place 1 monster counter on Toneberry. Okay, so it's going to get 1 at least at the end of the turn if you're playing it. Put Toneberry into the break zone. Look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the monster counters placed on Toneberry. Add 1 card among them to your hand, then shuffle the other cards and return them to the bottom of your deck. Not bad. It's a good recycler. You know, there's obviously better ways to draw, faster ways to draw. I guess if you're doing some sort of monster build or want some extra support in some way, I'm not really sure how this will play through. Maybe some other better experts out there at the game could give more input on this, but my thoughts on this immediate is like, it's okay. It's not bad, especially if you want to play more monsters in your build. It lets it build up, right? So, you know, in like 3-4 turns, you can draw 3 or 4. This can definitely be a big plus. It looks like you can get at least a +1 just right off the bat really quickly from this. So it's not bad. I think it's okay. So yeah, there you go. Toneberry. Not a bad common. It's a monster. I'm glad, you know, we're getting more monsters. Hopefully they keep getting better. Now, from this, Shamat. Here we go. Shamat at 9. This card, I think, is interesting. It looks like potential, especially with chaos stuff. So it says, when Shamat 9 enters the field, you may discard 1 job chaos. When you do so, choose 1 character of 5 or more and break it. Cost 4, pretty cheap. 8k, pretty standard. Okay. So it looks like if you're going to be building that chaos kind of support build, job chaos, you know, who knows? There might be something to this. We'll see what other kind of chaos cards come out of this next set. We've already got some pretty amazing chaos cards. So maybe chaos may become like a thing either next set or, you know, in the foreseeable future here where chaos becomes like a big dominant kind of thing. And I like the fact, you know, so you just discard 1 chaos and monster or chaos card and you break it. Unfortunately, I wish this was I guess, I mean, it would be a common in this sense, but it would be nice if you can do it at any time rather than just like on an on entrance ability. But you know, it is a common, so there you go. We get what we get. It's not bad. I like it. It's not a bad common. Moving on to our next one here is we got Skuzelt? Shuzelt. I'm so bad at some of these names. When Shuzelt or a lightning character enters your field, choose one forward opponent controls. Deal it 10k. Is that 10? Oh no, 1k damage. I thought it was 10. Oh my gosh. Deal it 1k damage. The Green Reaper special here. Discard a Shuzelt. Pay 2 lightning. Choose 1 damage forward and break it. Okay. It's FFBE, which is interesting. It's a knight, which is searchable. It can also be reduced with cards like Beatrix, so not bad. Possibles. I'm trying to think here, like in the current kind of water Beatrix, Agrius kind of build that we have, or lightning. I do like that it says when Shuza or a lightning character enters your field, you choose one forward opponent controls, deal 1,000 damage. So this may not be a bad support card, especially since it's FFBE. The only FFBE searcher I can think of off the top of my head is Axstar, but that's a fire forward. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think there's some potential here. It's not a bad common. Yeah, it's not awful. So I see some potential, future potential with that card. Next one here, beautiful artwork here of Bagoman here. I love this black and white drawing with just like the eyes there colored in. It's fantastic. I do hope that all of them are like full arts, but we'll see. Anyway, Bagoman here is when Bagoman enters your field, you choose one forward opponent controls, activate it. If possible, it gains, if possible, this forward must block until the end of the turn. Look, I love this effect. I love it a lot. This is like almost like a backup Heckentinture in a sense, if that makes sense. Only because, listen, it's easy. Okay, let's just imagine right now with like a current monk like Sophie builds. Sophie's so easy to get huge out there, or even just anything with Earth. It's easy to get like a huge forward out there. And what ends up happening a lot in this game is that when you or your opponent has to deal with that huge forward, there's just not a lot of attacking happening there. Or if it is, like I don't see as much partying attack, which I think is a system that we need to get better at using as players in general. And I could speak definitely for myself, but I do know other players as well like to joke because they just forget to party attack. But I like this. I like the fact that you get this huge forward out there and you're just like, I wish my opponent would I wish we could do some trading, at least a 1-for-1 kind of thing. With Bagoman right here, it's like, boom, you're going to have to block. Your forward that I choose is going to have to block whether you like it or not. And as long as it can, right? It's possible. So I like this card. I think it's fantastic. I wish it was a multiplier. I wish you could do like more than just one. But either way, it's not a bad backup. It's only cost 2. Super easy to get out. It is category 12. Okay. And then Majab Banga. Yeah. I don't know. I like it. We'll see. I might use it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, our next up, another beautiful card here, Alua as well. This card is just fantastic. I think this Alua will be full art. I could be wrong, and we're on to our rares here. Yeah, so Nightshade, I feel like we may have covered this before, but it doesn't matter. We'll cover it again. It's an FFTA2, 3,000, 1 cost, but here, this card has a kicker. This card's pretty dang fantastic. Here's the thing. So it costs 1. It's fire. Easy, right? Has haste. Amazing. When Alua attacks, you may dole any number of active fire backups you control. Okay. When you do so, you choose one forward and you do a 3k damage for each backup you doled due to this ability, and Alua gains 3k power for each backup you doled due to this ability until the end of the turn. Think about this, okay? This is really, in my mindset, as long as you have one backup, this is basically a 1 cost 6k. If you discard and you have at least one active backup on the field, this is a cost 1 6k, deal 3k damage to opponents forward. Okay, at the very bare minimum. with 2 if you discard a pay for this. It is a 9k, right? Think about this. But if you have 3 backups in play, which is pretty quick, you can pretty easily and quickly do with fire as well. And fire can get backups really fast. And I think this is what's going to end up happening most often than not on average, is that this is going to be a 1 cost 9k forward, in my opinion. It's going to go up to 9k and it's going to deal 9k damage. It is, or it's going to deal at least 6k damage. I think on average 6k damage, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. This card is disgustingly good. Don't sleep on this card. I am shocked that this is a rare. This should be at the very least a hero card. This card is so good, and I'm so excited to play this card. And it's an FFTA2, which is also amazing. Yeah, let me know what you all think of Ilua here, because I'm thinking this card is just going to be disgustingly amazing here. All right, moving on here to our next card. Let's do a refresh. Make sure nobody's trying to chime in here in the comments, because sometimes the comments won't come through. Okay, so we get Red 13. I'm so glad we get another Red 13 card. I love Red 13. Here's the thing, is that, you know, yes, 7's not my most favorite Final Fantasy game, but of the 7 characters, I love Red 13. It was by far one of my favorites. So I'm glad we're seeing more Red 13 support here in the card game. So a backup this time, Warrior, very cool. When Red 13 enters the field, you may pay 1 fire. Easy, it only costs 2. Okay, so that's easy. If you do so, play 1 forward from your hand onto the field. Listen to what that card just said. If you do so, you just pay 1 fire. Okay, so let's say you discard for 2 fire CP, play it, then play it. You had already 1 on there, or maybe you even discard another one. Doesn't really matter. You pay another fire. If you do so, you play 1 forward onto the field. What does that mean? What fire forwards can we think about that do one on entrance field kind of crazy, insane effects? How about Philia, ladies and gentlemen, for example, right? Imagine Philia coming out there on the field. You're looking down, like you're playing someone who's playing Sophie, and they got like 20 forwards on the field, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had like a Shantoto or Philia. You draw on a Red 13, you had the Philia sitting in your hand. You didn't have enough to pay for Philia because it's so darn expensive. Red 13, 1 fire, Philia, boom! Blow up that field, okay? You only need it once, who cares? Or let's think about, let's say Axstar. Let's say you got a Bahamut that does 10k damage in your damage zone. You got an Axstar in your hand, boom! Play your Axstar, trigger off that Bahamut, deal 10k to a 40 on your opponent's side of the field. This is just so stupidly darn good. This card is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It should not be a rare. It should be a hero, possibly even a legend card. Now, let's read the rest of the card. If it leaves the field for any reason, remove it from the game instead. That forward, of course. At the end of the turn, remove it from the game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, really. Who cares, right? Especially, say, you play that Philia. Who cares if it leaves at the end of the turn? Because guess what? As a result for that, you have blown up the field. You have restarted the play, giving yourself a break, fresh start. I love this card. I kind of want to squeeze in fire now in almost every build just to be able to play Red 13 with Philia. Fantastic. This card is just disgustingly good, and it's Red 13. I'm so glad. I'm so glad Red 13 is a great card. Oh my gosh. Again, the FF7 remake stuff in this set is redunculous. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Our next hero is Garuda, Lady of the Vortex. When Garuda, Lady of the Vortex, enters the field, you choose 1 forward of power 9k or more opponent you controls, and you break it. Not bad. It does cost 6. It is 9k forward. Okay. When a forward of power 9k or more, your opponent, more of your opponent enters the field, you draw 1 card. It's not a bad card. I think it's a little, well, maybe it's not pricey because of what you're able to pull off from it. It is somewhat situational here. Really quickly, let's go over to the comments. We got, it's Martikai, but pre-order where? Well, Martikai, I know it's hard. Some places have been very difficult and have sold out already. I would recommend Zulus or the Light Games, but I believe their pre-orders have already been out. So I will say, go to your locals. And I'm glad you actually did ask that question, because again, I will always recommend to people, go to your locals first, okay? Give them a call. Don't just go to their site. I know, we are internet people, us millennials, us Gen Zers, we are internet people, right? We want to order online, but guess what? Things go out quickly online. Do the old-fashioned thing. Call your locals or walk in to your locals, have a chat with them. And even if they don't carry Final Fantasy TCG, say, hey, can you check with your distributor? Is it possible? Ask. Just ask. If you can, just try to get your hands on them, because it's going to be difficult to get this set. Hopefully Square will print more. It's about that time in any TCG's kind of like lifespan to start doing reprints. So Square, you know, they're around this kind of time, so hopefully they do some more reprints. Anyway, moving on here to Garuda. It is it's Martikai. I hope you get your box as well. Please also join our Discord and join our giveaway to at least try to get a Opus 14 pre-release kit. All right, moving on back to the card here. So when a forward of power 9 card or more, your opponent enters the field, you draw one card. Okay, so it's going to at least take a card. It's going to at least break something. It is somewhat situational. The nice thing is that you do get a +1. So the cost really kind of evens out. I think maybe this card can be maybe considered a 1-for-1 in a sense here when we talk about card advantage. So not a bad rare. It's interesting. We'll see if what kind of play this kind of card does get. So our next one here is Leviathan here. Oh my gosh, I actually said Leviathan correctly on a stream. I always screw up Leviathan on a stream. I don't know why I do, but like I overthink the name. Anyway, Leviathan. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. It's a summon. A wolf summon. X-Burst. Select up to 2 of the 3 following actions. Listen, this card's going to be disgusting. Let me read this here to you. Okay. Choose one forward opponent controls, return it to its owner's hand. Amazing. Choose one light forward or dark forward, put it onto the top of its owner's or bottom of its owner's deck. Fantastic. Next one, choose one water forward in your break zone, add it to your hand. Okay. If you're playing a water build, I know this just costs 6, but it does have X-Burst, and especially if you can pull it off with like a card like Dogga, this card is amazing. Now here's the thing. The first and the last effect kind of speak for themselves, right? Those are amazing. Let's look at that second one here. This one really shocked me. I think this one here is going to be really overlooked. People don't sleep on the advantage of this middle ability here. Choose one light forward or dark forward. Put it at the top or bottom of its owner's deck. Okay. Let's think first off in your situation. Say you have a light or dark forward that has a auto ability, and you know when it enters field. Okay. You can with Leviathan, of course, put it back at the top of your deck, especially if you can draw into it, or maybe next turn if you can wait, get it, and then get that on that auto ability once it gets into the play zone again. Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. But let's think of it on the flip side of things. Let's say your opponent has like a Neo X death, or has something out there that maybe doesn't have a big advantage to coming back on the field, or maybe it does and it doesn't matter so much. Here is the thing. You are costing them a draw with this card. Okay? Do not sleep on this ability, right? I think in the future we'll get better cards that do this kind of thing, but right now for what it is, and especially if we get people playing more and more lights and darks, right, that ability is disgustingly good and very punishable. You are basically taking a draw away from your opponent, and that is huge. So don't sleep on that ability. You heard it here from our Masters Live. Let me know what you think, because I think this card is just going to get better and better in time. Next card up is Afmao, I think. Yeah, category 11. Okay. Afmao. So when a Mao is added to your hand from the break zone, you may pay 1 lightning. If you do so, you play 1 card name of Mao from your hand onto the field. Okay, so interesting. It's added to your hand from the break zone. Okay, interesting. So I guess if you can get it from your like a Kusith or whatever, you just pay 1 lightning rather than the 3 and just put her back out there. I'm not really sure what to think of this card. It sounds interesting potentially with other combo kind of stuff, but let me know what you all think about this. I don't have much thoughts on this card. Potentially with like can combo off of something to give it a greater advantage. It is basically just a cost 1 lightning in this sense if you can get it back consistently or in other ways besides like a Kuseth. So I don't know. It's a rare. I don't know. Let me know what you all think of that one. That one I'm not too sure on. Okay, the cover art card. Zenos. I'm gonna call him Zenos. Zenos. General Zenos here. Def 14. All right. When Zenos enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to 2 category 14 forwards among them to your hand and put the rest of the cards into the break zone. This will go amazing in a Scion build. I don't care what you say. This is fantastic. Okay, when Zenos attacks all the category 14 forwards you control, gain haste until the end of the turn. More power to Scion of the 7 Dawn cards. This is fantastic. I am curious to see what kind of fire Scion kind of builds we get out there. This is amazing. So I like this card. It is the cover art card, 9k power, 9k cost 5. Yeah, I just, yeah, a great card all around. All right, next card here is Coming Out. I think the last Coming Out card we had was a just a category 11 dark, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I think it was. Or no, there was another one out of Opus 10, I believe, which was okay. Let's see what this one does, though. When Coming Out enters the field or attacks, you choose 1 dull forward opponent controls. Deal it 2k damage for each ice backup you control. Ooh, now that's just interesting. Okay. The special here, you discard a Coming Out, so you can run the other ones now, which is amazing, especially the one that makes your opponent skip a turn. I think that's that one there. Yeah, I think that's the same one, right? So it says choose 1 forward, deal it 2k damage for each ice character you control. That's pretty good too. Right off the bat, what I'm thinking, Ice, Crystal Exarch. Imagine you got 4 backups out there. Get into your second phase. Boom, you play Coming Out for free. And it does 2k damage for each ice backup you control. So really, immediately, that's already 8k damage. Or another way to think of this is if you pay 4... if you pay 4 on the field, you can just pay for it normally, and it's just basically deal 8k damage. And then of course you get the special, and you can play the other Coming Outs. I haven't looked too closely at the other ones, but you know, really quickly to the chat, it's AZNX Chunky. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. What is up? So I think this card is very great, especially in ice. There's some great potential here. Especially with the Crystal Exarch. So yeah, not much else to say. It's 8k, cost 4, pretty standard. I like the card. I think it's fantastic. I think it looks nice, especially too for a category 11 card. Next one, speaking of another beautiful category 11 card, thank you Square for not just doing a screenshot of Final Fantasy XI for this card. It's Preesh. She looks beautiful in this set. In this art right here. I hope this is also full art. We'll see, but she looks amazing here. So I think Preesh is a she. It doesn't really matter here, but let's read it here. So the job is the abhorrent one. It's interesting. If you cast Preesh, you may pay an extra 1 win, 1 earth, and then 1 of any. When Preesh enters the field, if you paid the extra cost, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Play up to 1 win character or earth character of cost 5 or less among them onto the field, and return the other cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. Damage 3, Preesh gains 1k power, and Brave, so she'll go up to 10k. This card is also another fantastic card. Just imagine all the wind stuff out there that already exists, all the earth stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna get too much into it. There's so many great options with this. I mean, just Ishtola immediately right off just top of my head, right? I mean, that's like probably like the least most impressive one. Well, maybe not the least most impressive one, but right, all the stuff you can get with it with just paying basically an additional 3. I like this card. I think it's fantastic. I don't know. I think it's a card we'll see being played. It is 9k as well. So next now, moving on to our legends, we got Omega. Ladies and gentlemen, we got an ultimate weapon here, Omega. Oh my gosh, and this card is disgusting. Now, as you all know from the pre-release kit, this will also be the art on the sleeves here. But let's read Omega here. Omega, 10k, cost 5, dark, it's ridiculous. At the end of each player's turn, if there is no weapon counter placed on Omega, you will place 1 weapon counter on Omega. So end of turn, boop, gets 1. What does that counter do? If 1 or more weapon counters are placed on Omega, I just lost my train. Let's see. Okay, if 1 or more weapon counters are placed on Omega, Omega deals your opponent 1 point of damage and remove all weapon counters from Omega. Is it and remove all weapon counters from Omega instead. Deals your opponent 1 point of damage and remove all weapon counters from Omega instead. That's weird wording to me. Maybe I'm not reading that correctly. Either way, it's going to deal 1 point of damage. That's pretty amazing. Okay. When Omega is chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities, you may remove 1 weapon counter from Omega. If you do so, Omega gains. Omega cannot be broken until the end of the turn. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's going to deal a point or it's going to be invincible. And it's just disgusting. It is so good. It looks like you have the option. I think the instead just means that you can remove it to do that point of damage. Or you can keep that 1 counter on there to get that other ability. And I think that's, if I'm reading that correctly, what that means. Either way, this card is disgustingly good. I don't want to spend any more time on it because we've already gone a little past what I usually do for the news. But there's Omega. I think it's fantastic. We got next card up here, Garland, right? How many of you did the joke chaos when you saw this, right? I know I posted in the comments. We all did. I couldn't help myself, right? So Garland here, another legend. Beautiful full art. Looks fantastic here. Looks like the same artist that did Odin full art for Opus 13. So here we go. If Garland is dealt damage by a summon or an ability, the damage becomes 0 instead. Amazing. Okay, so it takes 0 basically from abilities or summons. Okay, when a backup is put from the field in the break zone, you draw 1 card. Not bad. Special. What does it do? Discard a Garland. We can start running our other Garlands, huh? Opus 6 Legend Garland, anybody? Maybe. Choose 1 forward. Break it. Then your opponent selects 1 backup they control. Put it into the break zone. Amazing. Yes, the art is fantastic as we got here in the comments. The card looks just ridiculously good. I love this card. It's fire. I mean, come on. It's just, why is all the fire getting all these amazing cards? Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. Yes, it'll be easy to play. AK. I think we'll see more Garland. It's night. Don't sleep on that. So it's searchable, right? With other backups that search for night. Beatrix can discount this to just 2 costs if you do a water fire kind of build. Yeah, I like this card. Fantastic. I think we're going to be seeing this in the meta for the next phase of Final Fantasy TCG. And last but certainly not least, this beautiful light forward beast, a dragon more specifically here. Again, job special here for 9k, cost 5. Let's read this amazing looking card. I am so excited about this card. This card is so disgustingly broken. Okay, when Shinryu enters the field, deal 10k damage to all the forwards of cost 3, 6, and 9 opponent controls. Okay, amazing. Next, at the beginning of main phase 1, during each of your turns, reveal the top card of opponent's deck. Amazing. If it is a forward, all the forwards opponent controls lose 7 power until the end of the turn. Okay. Well, what happens if it's not a forward? Well, let's see. If it is not a forward, you just draw 2 cards. There is no downside to this forward. This card is disgusting. I feel like every build should have this card. I would go as far as to say if you're building something and you don't have 1 copy, at least 1 copy in your deck, you're doing something wrong. This card is so good and so amazing. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know. I thought kind of the same thing of Neo X-Death, but you know, people thought that was too threatening, and Neo X-Death is great, but I don't know. I think this card though is just freaking ridiculously amazing and good, and I'm gonna run it, and I'm probably gonna run 3, and it's gonna be in like a build that has multiple colors, and it's gonna be so amazing. And let's see, how about Tree Fitty says that full art makes my wallet quiver, right? So this card is gonna be fantastic. I definitely am going to want a playset of 3 full art for my collection, but as you all know, I don't play my full arts in tournaments. Sorry, I don't play foils at all in tournaments. I used to do that. No offense to those of you that do, I don't. I just want it for the collection to sit there, to look pretty, just so I can go back when I'm bored and look through the full arts I have. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So that is today's news. We had a ton of spoilers. Again, head over to our Discord. Thank you all for joining. Please remember to like and subscribe and follow. We are at, I believe, 182 subscribers. I am so grateful to every single one of you. I thank every single one of you that have donated the channel as well. Of course, that money goes back to you all, the community. It's going back through the giveaway. Join that Discord. Join that giveaway. Links to everything I've talked about are in the video link description. My email again is armastislive@gmail.com. Email me about everything, anything. I don't care whether it's about the game or not. It doesn't matter. And I keep everything confidential unless I have your permission, of course, to share anything. So thank you again. Remember, every single one of you, you're all wonderful. You're all beautiful. You're all loved. And until next time, bye-bye.